Hey, how you doing, guys? Thanks for stopping in here with Fishbone. Got my boy Nikos here from, well, you introduce
Diesel Bassin
yourself.
Outdoors. My name's Nikos. I'm the owner of Diesel Bassin Outdoors. Just met these guys about a couple weeks ago. Great people, and I appreciate being here.
Yeah, definitely. We've been definitely digging each other, hanging out, having some fun.
Yeah.
Nikos is a talker, so it's good. We're trying to get him fired up today.
I always, when it comes to fishing, always got something to say.
Well, you know how it is. My boy's South Shore, so
yeah, we're
North Shore. So North Shore, South Shore, usually like a little oil and water, but we have fun. But definitely,
it's where the best fishing is right now.
That's right, exactly. You know,
Cape Cod, New England.
Good stuff. So yeah, I think jump right in as far as the baits go.
So what we have here is the 8-inch DBO Minnow. That's available. We have the Easy Eel 8-inch. This is the new, just launched it yesterday. We have the 8-inch paddle tail. This is Diesel. Awesome bait.
Nice. That's a color, Diesel?
So it's funny. So I CNC my own stuff, and I inject my own baits, and I make a lot of baits, and when it comes down to what do you call it, you'd be fishing it. What should I call this? This came about the Easy Eel, DBO Minnow.
Okay. Yep.
So I sat there and like, what should I call this thing? Before I release it to the public, people are gonna be like, "What's the name of the bait and stuff?" And for some reason, Diesel kept coming up. I'm a diesel mechanic.
Yep.
I've been doing it for a very long time now. I've been a mechanic pretty much my whole life. And I'm like, I need something that represents like the company,
Right. Who you are a little bit. Yeah, you want to put a little personal flair to it, which is good.
So I'm like, Diesel. I don't know. This bait catches a lot of stripers. It catches a lot of big stripers. And I just went with it. I'm like, Diesel.
I just love the color. Like it's got.
Yeah, so that's.
You got a little bit. You got some detail as far as.
So you got the blue flakes, purple flakes.
Yep. And you got a little bit of the cutout there. I don't know if you can.
So I notch it.
The notches.
Kept it smooth. I do a lot of designing in my baits, like the Fathead swimmer. You have ribs. It looks real neat. It looks real neat in the water.
Yeah.
Fish love it. This is a very go-to bait. Absolutely kills it. And I catch a lot of big ones too.
That's awesome. And then the notches help out?
Notches. It looks like a bait fish in the water.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
Something about with the tail and the profile really catches their eye.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to throw some of these in the water. I saw it earlier. I mean, the tail action on these things is just crazy. It doesn't do justice just to kind of hold it up here. So when we see these in the water.
Floating plastic.
Oh, okay.
So it has a lot of flex to it, and it's very durable plastic. Not that cheap plastic.
Right,
and it's a special blend, so I blend all my plastics.
And you're going to give us the full layout of exactly what plastics later,
What I use?
No secrets.
It's a microwavable plastic.
This comes from a very rare mineral, only collected Elon Musk's battery.
I go mining for it.
Exactly.
8 hours for 1 cup of plastic.
Exactly.
But no, this is a very good finesse bait. Pressure bait. That's why I love it.
Oh, okay.
I'll fish every of my baits.
Yep.
And I won't get a bite, and I'm like, let me do the fathead. Fathead. Usually within the first cast, you start getting hooked up.
Nice.
Something about it, the profile. There's a lot of baits out there with the tail.
Right.
This came along where I just started stretching baits. So when I design a bait, it starts off as a hot dog. I'll do my dimensions, and it starts off in a hot dog. So nothing is ever replicated. Nothing. I don't even. Sometimes I'll look it up. Like I'll come up with an idea, and I'll do my research ahead of time to make sure that's not out there.
Right.
If it's out there,
you don't want to
want it.
Everybody's going to say that. Oh, he copped this, or this guy copped that.
I want something that nobody has.
Yep.
So. Plus, I want to design something that people are familiar with.
So
that's the biggest part.
Is everything floating plastic, or is it
everything's floating plastic? Nothing's sinking plastic right now.
Okay.
Even the paddle tail, I want that. So when you're jigging it, or you're just
popping
burning it on the bottom,
Yep.
it floats up.
I got you.
I don't want it to be dead, just dead.
Yeah,
Just floating plastic.
Who wants to eat that, right?
It's a more heavier bait.
Yep.
So 2.5 ounce. This is light. This is probably with the floating plastic. I don't know, maybe 1 ounce.
I got you.
So sinking plastic.
So you can get.
Heavier.
So if you got a good bag of weed, then you put that up next to it.
Yeah, side by side, scale it.
Oh, that was back in the day. Not that we won't talk that.
But
So
yeah.
nice. Okay, so that's a big, and this is okay. So this, that's the one we just looked at, right? Oh no, the white one is that the same?
White one. So that's a 1.5, and that would be the 2.5.
I got you. Okay, with
and
the
then
split tail, the jointed body,
split tail. This is a really good color. I call this Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah.
So this is all my colors are custom. This is like a chartreuse.
Yep.
Mixed with the blend.
Right, and you got the sparkle in there, which is nice.
With the golds. Gives it a reflection.
Sparkle you got to be real careful with, right? Like you can, what is it, like almost overcook that in there?
Yeah.
Put too much in.
All glitter. It's just glitter. You get it off the shelf. You know what I mean? It's nothing like.
It seems like there's a little bit of like a talent to make the glitter work. You can
overcook it, and it'll just burn the bait up.
I got you.
It actually happened the other day. I was making jig heads and put the bait in the microwave. Started making the jigs. I said, "Oh shit!" I go and I open it. Oh, a cloud of smoke just pours out. I call it the brownie effect.
Oh yeah,
and it's just big ass brownie. All looks like sea foam. Like what do you call that? That coil kind of just black off.
So now you're like, now I really made something unique. We're not going to catch a fish with it, but it's pretty unique, right?
I posted it. My buddy's like, hey, just put a hook on it. I'll fish the shit out of it.
Nice.
I'm like, it does come scented.
Yeah. So, not to interrupt, but so one of the biggest things, like the thing that drew me to you was like, you had some posts up. There's a million posts. I follow tons of stuff.
Yep.
But like the real thing that I'm always looking for is, I mean, it's tough in this market to really do something different.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's only so many fish shapes. You know what I mean? You can't just make it because, like they say, like, what is it, like, the bait sell to the fisherman, not the fish.
Hey, so. Oh, yeah. It's always like, look, you go to Bass Pro Shop, you got all the colors.
Yeah,
and everybody's
spikes
like,
sticking out, colors, and you're like, I've never even seen a fish that looks like that. So the big thing was the CNC machine. I mean, that's like, I was like, holy shit.
Badass. I love it.
I see people online and they're like, I see companies where you can go online, you can buy the do-it-yourself kits, you can buy the kits. But again, like,
it's not custom.
Right. When I'm like, this guy has a CNC machine, I was like, holy Christ, like, who has that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So tell me a little bit about how you got into that. I mean,
I started all this about, 2016.
Okay.
Right? So I've been fishing my whole life. At that point, I was doing a lot of freshwater, and I was doing a lot of salt, too.
Yeah.
But mainly freshwater. I grew up on the South Latouba.
Right.
I love it. When I was a kid, I was out there. I had a little 10-foot little John bow with an 8-horse. And I grew up, we didn't have money. Right. My father had a pizzeria. He worked his ass off every day. And my mom worked there. So there was really no money. We didn't have big boats. So I got everything on my own. I worked, got my boat. Yeah. Went to a flea market, got the engine. And that's where mechanics kind of came from.
I got you. All right.
Clean the car. I'm pulling carburetors
Want to go fishing,
off.
You better figure it out because nobody's doing it for you, right?
So 2016 comes and I wanted to stop making baits. I thought about it. I was messing around with softwares and stuff like that and found the right software, and I wanted it done when I want it done. I don't like it. A lot of these designs come to my head and I'll just hop on the computer and kind of like like you're into music, it's in your head and you're like,
that's me. I'm a musician, so I'm like, I hear a song in my head, 2:00 in the morning, I jump up, you get the guitar.
Yeah, you're like, get me in the studio. I need to do this now. So same thing with designing baits, same way. So I wanted it now, and I did a lot of research trying to find how can I do it, and I came across the CNC machine.
Okay.
I had some background with computers. Getting into it, you need a boost computer.
Right.
You can't just a normal computer at Walmart. You can't really design with it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I built a computer, got the graphic cards, all the chips, built a computer, found the CNC.
Okay.
It was a Chinese CNC. It was about, I don't know, maybe like
Gotcha.
like 3 feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
3 feet.
Yeah.
So ordered that. It was about $600.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, where am I gonna find this money? You know. So started doing side jobs. Got the machine. Now I got the machine. Now it was how to figure this out. How do I learn this thing? And there's a lot, because we're in 2024, so a lot of people do a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Back then, it wasn't really much to figure this out. Like, you need some
guidance.
Boost. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you can't just...
What software? Because a lot of these companies don't advertise their software like that. It's not all over. So did a lot of research, and I found the software. I had to buy the license.
Yeah.
It was about $250 the license.
Gotcha.
To the CNC came with the Chinese software.
Right.
Garbage.
Garbage.
You can't. It limits everything you need to do.
Right.
As
so you needed to raise your game a little bit.
Oh, of course. And you got to learn G codes. So now it's all G codes. You got your axis, Y, Z, X. So found the software, bought the license, that accessed everything. Now I can run, like, say, designing this bait, what I see and see it, the molds, everything, it's up to over 100,000 G codes.
Wow.
You know, up, down.
Okay, yep. So every direction it goes in.
It's right in codes telling the machine what to do.
Okay.
I'm still learning to this day. Like,
I'm sure.
There's so much to learn in CNC world. It's amazing.
Yep.
It's fun too. I get all excited. You know, the machine's running. Oh man, I'll sit there and just watch it carve into the mold. I'm like, all right, you got to do something else.
Just like it's aluminum, right?
Yep. So my CNC, I went with what worked best for me was a flat deck. Okay. It was a 4-axis because it came. I could do rotary plugs and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
Just up and down, side to side. That's what I need for molds.
I gotcha. Okay.
Now they have 6, 8, 10 access.
All different
things going all over the place.
I gotcha.
I don't need that. You just need a basic, you know, flat CNC that up and down, side to side.
Gotcha.
So got into doing that. Got the CNC. Learned everything out, and then now failures came. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, I'm sure.
God. I broke so many bits.
Yeah. Oh,
so
really? Okay, so it's got like a...
Yeah, it's
cutter or whatever.
Different. Yeah, it's just a rotary, spins around, and then you got to find the right bits. Yep. Now I'm more so advanced into it. I know what I need.
I gotcha. Yeah,
and then tool paths and stuff like that. What tool path to use? Because carving aluminum, you can't just dig right into it. You know, we don't have a $80,000 CNC machine. The motor's a friggin' 35 horse. Right. Digging right into it, you know. Oh, I've seen that thing flex a couple of times. Yeah. My first one, my new one's friggin' huge. Yeah. I'm excited about that. And
you said your electric bill's like crazy, right?
Yes. So being in Massachusetts, you know, all my Massachusetts people out there, you know, I'm out of Freetown and we have Eversource. And that bill has a bill on top of a bill.
Because it takes, like a day? Like it isn't like you just hit it and it spits it out.
It's a 110 machine, just regular. You could do 240. I do 110, which 240 is better. The amperage is it would probably be a lot cheaper for me, but now you got to do the hookups and 110. It was just a standard CNC, and it was perfect for learning.
I gotcha.
Because my new one, when you mess up, you break bits this time. Like this thing has power to dig right through. Yeah. I've had so many mold failures where I would leave it overnight and come back. The thing's over here, but the mold's over here, and it's carving into the...
Yeah, I gotcha. And that's got to, like, break your heart because you just spent all this time. You bought that metal. That can't be cheap.
Aluminum's expensive.
Yeah.
I had a good source. I was getting a lot of my aluminum from, and they stopped. So now there's a website I think I use. It's like Aluminum Depot or something like that.
Right. Just anybody can find
you go on.
You're not giving up any secrets with
where
to find a block of aluminum.
Aluminum. There's no secret.
Yeah, so that's
aluminum
just
ain't gonna
crazy.
catch
Like
you
I
fish.
got to give you props. Like I just really felt like that was like next level to just,
Oh, of course.
because not to, everybody.
I think
I mean, obviously, I get into this not just to support you, but to support all kinds of bait makers. So
yeah,
it's,
everything's
I just think
homemade.
it was really unique. That's what really drew me to you was, you can get a mold designed, you can buy a mold,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's so
Anybody
impressive
can
what
do
people
that.
can do because there's a talent to the plastic as well.
Yep.
But to find somebody with a talent with the metal and the
Yeah.
plastic was like you got to learn two things, even more than two things when you add it up. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you could leave me with all the plastic and that CNC machine in the world, and you're gonna get that brownie thing out of me.
Yeah,
I'm not-
even the plastic took a challenge because this is all custom, 100% custom.
yeah,
Like I said, the only research I do is just to make sure nobody else is doing it, which a lot
Yeah.
of companies probably don't care at all. They just pull it.
right.
Me, I do my research, make sure it's not there. If
Yeah.
it's there, I go back because I want it different. I don't.
Yeah.
There's nothing in here. The easy eel, yeah. I have to make it look like an.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, there's only so it's got to
much you
look like the
could do with
fish. There's only
eel.
so many bait fish, and it's got to be representative. I think it's the
As-
play. Like to me, it's like who's really spending the time,
Oh, this is
to
a
make
lot
that
of time.
paddle move.
Jesus.
Who's making the, who's really, you know what I mean? Because you get some plastics, you throw it in the water,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, yeah, you made something, that's cool, but it's going to be a while before you really get into,
Yeah.
dialing that in. So I think that's great.
Yeah, the CNC was the biggest part. You
Yeah.
know, starting off with that little one, I was only doing one mold.
Yeah.
And this machine was small, and then I wanted to upgrade, so I took the small machine and I bought like a 3 horsepower motor for this thing.
Oh wow.
Thing was huge.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, damn. So now I had to fabricate brackets on this CNC and make sure it was level.
Yep.
And because I wanted to cut, and
Right.
all I had was the CNC. I have a house. I got a daughter, so
Yeah.
a lot of the money goes to bills and
You got a
support my
family. I mean,
family and
that's-
stuff like that.
That's why we're here to support you. I mean,
Yes.
the
and I
idea is to,
appreciate it.
you know what I mean? Somebody who's working hard, somebody who's hustling. That's a big thing for me is the hustlers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're
never
not
nonstop.
complacent. You know what I mean? You're definitely into it, which was why I reached out and I was like, hey, I mean, we're both kind of starting. I mean,
Yes.
you've been doing it
And
forever.
I thought that's what I thought it was.
I've been doing, I'm more of an artist, music, so I'm not coming at this saying like, hey, I'm an expert and I'm here. There's enough of that out on the internet of guys who
even
are like,
for me, I'm still learning every day. Nobody can ever say they're the best bait maker.
I love
because
your
every
humility,
day-
man. I love the fact that you're like, I'm going to crush it, but you know what I mean? You're like, you keep it, keep it honest, which is
Oh,
good.
yeah,
You know
I'm
what I mean? You're
learning
not like,
every
I
day.
know everything. I got, I like how you're humble, you're a hustler. You know what I mean? Again,
If-
from my standpoint, those are the guys that I'm looking to get out there. So yeah, like I said, props to you for going that deep into it. CNC, learning the plastics, doing everything, and obviously we're here to promote your stuff. I mean, this is just a small segment of what you got out there. This is the stuff you're like really focused on now.
Yeah, this is the
And-
top stuff. This is the stuff that I have confidence. I can hand it to anybody in the world and be like, yo, catch fish.
Yep. So I mean, it's nice to learn everything. I like to learn a little bit about the people too.
Yep.
So you're a South Shore guy.
Yep.
We're up in Newburyport, Mass right now. We're sitting on
Beautiful,
the mouth of the
yeah.
Merrimack. We're at Newburyport Boat Basin. Repping there. Maybe you get $6 off my slip next year or
Yep.
something. You know what I mean?
Advertised.
Throw me a little something. Free, get to use a hose for free, maybe.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, so up here, obviously mostly stripers.
Yep.
There's tuna up here.
Yep. Yeah, you guys got a lot.
I have a lot of mackerel fishing for baits, a lot of pogies. I mean, I think that's like the core. Bluefish are big. We got what are the flounder looking ones? The fluke. Yeah, some fluke up
We
here.
have some sea bass. You guys
Yep.
have sea bass. up there?
We might. Like I said, I've been saltwater fishing for about 4 years.
Okay.
So we're on my new boat. I got picked this thing up used the other day. I upgraded from the Carolina skiff, which was I love that boat. bay boat, more for Florida down south.
Yeah.
But it was good for me to learn because I've been on lakes, ponds, rivers my whole life. But like the ocean was, I grew up in
The
Philly,
ocean's beautiful.
so we had to drive 2 hours to Jersey Shore to find the ocean.
Yeah.
Wasn't something I could just get out there and do. So now that I've been up in New England, just really got into it. So that's why I like meeting people like you. You know, every time I meet somebody, I learn something. And that was kind of like one of the things that drove me to this too, was I'm not here to impart my deep knowledge of what's going on. I like, this is like a free lesson for me.
Yeah,
so, You know what I mean? Like I meet you, I've met other guys, Jamie Samatis from Samatis Baits.
Yep.
I sat with him. He was amazing.
I remember when they first came out.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't even think he would remember me, actually.
Really?
I met him, God, this was a long time ago. We're talking about maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
How long has he been? He's been going 5 years now, right?
Probably more, to be honest with you.
it was.
I should know I interviewed him. But sorry, man, but
yeah, no. It was at a fishing show. And I went up
he
there,
does all
I'm
the
like-
shows.
I'm
He's like a monster.
I'm like, that's cool. This is when he first started. I was like, that's cool stuff, man. I was like, this is when I first started, CNC baits. And I'm like, dude, I CNC my own stuff. And I was showing him photos of like my first baits.
Yeah.
And then obviously we went off and life and family.
We meet so many people at the shows, and I think I think he's a bit younger than me, and you're probably a bit younger than him.
Yeah, I'm 33.
33, all right. So
33 years old.
I'm like 109, and I'm not even going to say how old I am, but I'm sure it's pretty obvious. I'm 56, so, I think he's
young.
in his, maybe low to mid 40s, I think, but super nice guy, family guy, coaches his kid in baseball, just a dynamite guy. And I had a lot of fun with him. So anyway, as far as that goes, we kind of segued there, but
so
the fishing. So down your way.
Yep. We do Cape Cod.
Yep.
Wareham.
Yep.
I go all the way up to Connecticut.
Okay. And you're near the river, right?
Yeah, so I'm right near the Taunton River.
Okay.
Been there now for 5 years.
And where does that dump out at? Down New Bedford or the Cape?
Taunton River brings me all the way up to Mount Hope in Newport.
In Newport?
Newport.
Oh, really? Oh, right.
So, Fort Braga Bridge?
Yes.
That river right there. So if you follow it all the way down, my house is all the way at the end.
Ah, okay. That's cool.
It goes into Brackish.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like here, because I started fishing upstream here, up in like Haverhill, Mass. I would put my boat in, and down there it's like a lot of smallmouth bass and
that's cool. Yeah, there's
small. Yeah, I mean the big stripers get down there, but so yeah. And then as you come up here, then you start hitting more and more and more stripers. You go over the Brackish line.
They move all the way up stripers. It's crazy.
Yeah,
they'll go into fresh water.
Lawrence, Mass. They get them. There's when you get to Lawrence, there's a dam.
Yeah,
and that's the end of it. They have a fish ladder for
just all the baits.
Yeah, there's another guy. Shoot, I can't remember, but he's big into, I guess the herring's big. I don't know anything about herring. So down, the stuff that you get, tons of tautog.
Yeah, we have tautog, black sea bass.
Yeah.
Scup. Pretty much every fish.
And then the usual stripers. Tuna's big down there.
Tuna's huge. Cape Cod, Chatham. Stripers, bluefish, lots of them.
Yeah. It's funny how everybody hated them, then everybody loved them, then everybody hated them again.
People say it's good eating. I don't know.
I had a lot of bones. I thought it was gross.
Yeah, a lot of bones.
It was disgusting.
But we have albies.
Okay.
We have this year a lot of bonitos.
Okay.
I didn't really go for them. I just been focused on the business. Albies that come in, you'll catch me on the albies.
Yeah.
Last year I was on. God, I must have got.
And that's a lot of albies. Something like this?
No, so I actually have a 3-inch.
Oh, okay, that's smaller.
Eel for albies. I was throwing that last year with everything with the new machine.
Yeah.
The new CNC this year that I got a big one, and I just got the new machine for the bait for the plastic.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. You got a nice big machine you put up on your social media.
Since day one, it was always injecting.
And let them know give them the social media. I know it's Diesel Bassin.
So Facebook is NP Diesel Bassin Outdoors, and Instagram is Diesel Bassin Outdoors.
Okay, and the website where you sell direct, you can buy online.
So you could go online, you could go on the website, or you can just reach out to me.
Okay.
My website's designed. It's a little off the website. I built it myself. I had to learn how to do this.
Everybody starts somewhere. I don't judge.
Yeah,
like
it's
I said,
wild.
This is all about bootstrapping. This isn't like somebody gave you a bunch of money and hired a firm. Like this is what I love digging in. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for 22 years, running my own business. I do technology, and I know what it's like, man. It's I leveraged my house at one point. I screwed up. I owed tons of money. What I mean? Believe me, I know the trials and tribulations of just backing yourself into a corner, and then you're like, do I really want to do this? And if you really have the passion for business.
No, I sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed a lot to be where I am now, and this whole thing through the website, the CNCs, the machine, I just pulling out 401k to get the machine.
Been there.
Selling everything. I had a Duramax, twin turbos, EFI Live. Oh man, this thing was an animal. I missed this truck. Sold that truck. I sold the truck to upgrade the CNC machine.
Gotcha.
And then I sold my bass boat that I've been running tournaments. 5 years. I won championships. Nice. Sold that for the new CNC. Which I'm pumped. I'm pumped just talking about it.
Exactly.
Man, like.
I mean, you're young. You got plenty of time to fish, and it's got to be amazing fishing your own stuff.
It is, and a lot of people would be like, "Oh man, you're on a lot of fish all the time." Actually, somebody reached out, was like, "God, what are you doing?"
I mean, that's a bottom line. I mean, I can sit here and talk you up, and just for being a hustler, for being a good guy, for being somebody I just met and liked. On a personal level, we're both. I'm going on 6 years sobriety or whatever.
Year and a half now.
So almost 2 years.
And I love it.
And that's amazing.
I love it.
There. I mean, it's a life changer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it changed my life. Definitely.
It did for me too.
I don't want to get too preachy, but I've lost too many friends. You know what I mean? Like,
I lost family members.
Yeah, I lost a really good friend of mine only a few months ago, and it was like a stab on my heart. So.
It's an eye opener.
It
definitely gets into it. I was always a big partier.
Oh yeah.
And
dude, I was from the 80s.
I partied a lot, and drinking was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I never abused it, but it was bad for me. It got bad. It changed to a And if it wasn't for me stopping, like this wouldn't happen.
Here. I wouldn't be sitting here doing this podcast because that was like my focus wasn't there, and now I'm like.
It's for my family too. I got a 3-year-old daughter. She's my world. My wife, and alcohol just.
Good for you, man.
Not there.
Yeah.
It doesn't help, and she don't need to see that.
No,
because I saw.
It's the worst for the wives. My wife. I don't even know why she stuck by me, but. Yeah, she was the one who definitely got me sober, but I don't know. I would have just crawled in a hole.
Yeah, it definitely takes over you and who you are.
So here we are. So
this is
all right.
But
so
website.
So we got the eel. We got the
eel,
split tail.
Fathead swimmer.
Yep.
These I'm going to add to the website, and then back to the website. You guys can always reach out to me. If you're local, obviously I'm in Massachusetts, Freetown. I do offer actually deliver.
Oh, really?
I don't mind it.
Nice.
If you want to meet me or actually met a lot of people delivering it like that. We'll sit there and talk in the parking lot for an hour.
Right.
We gotta go. But on the website, the Fathead swimmer is going to be up there.
Yep.
8-inch diesels up there, 5 different colors.
I love this.
Awesome colors, natural. I try to keep it natural colors.
What color is this?
So that's copper orange with silver.
Okay. Almost like a poke.
Galaxy.
Kind of
It blends in real good. I was messing around with colors, and I went out that day with this color here, and I got on probably 30 to 35 stripers.
Nice.
And this was more of at night and during the day.
Really? Okay. So even a lighter bait like that.
Yeah, a lighter bait.
Because this is like a night bait, right? Like you want
nighttime.
It's gonna
nighttime
move a lot
bait.
of water.
Something about purple and black, and I also do purple and white.
I got you.
Sand eel. This is my custom sand eel color.
Yep.
And I actually do gold and white too.
So we got
There's an
the
eel.
Mountain Dew, and then what would you call?
White pearl,
Okay.
sand eel,
Okay.
and this is the copper orange.
Fine.
Awesome color. And the good thing is, like, all these baits, I'll test them.
Yeah.
I'll test the shit out of these baits. Go fish them.
Yeah.
And if I don't like the bites and I don't like how many bites I get that day, I'll go back and redo it.
Right.
I don't like it. So, like, this bait here, this is the third one I machined.
Oh, really?
I started off with one,
Yeah.
didn't like the swam.
Yeah.
Started off with another one, it was rocking too much.
I gotcha.
And then I went to a third design, taper, do, secret.
So so you just kind of massage it
Massage
in your
the bait.
software.
Yep.
Cut another mold, which takes 2 days.
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes I'll single.
That's a lot of work just to make, to really dial it in.
Big
I mean, that's a
molds.
lot of work.
Like my mold, this is a 4-cavity mold.
Okay.
Bigger baits, this don't like stacked. You'll get
gotcha.
I call it the Christmas tree.
Yep.
You'll have in the middle in their branch.
Yep.
It doesn't like it.
I gotcha.
So these are single pour injections.
Oh, okay.
4 of them.
Gotcha.
Or sometimes I'll CNC one single one, go and test it. But I'll test them out, everything, even the colors.
Yeah.
And if I don't like it, and I don't get bit that first day, I'll pull it.
And go back.
But same thing with this. First day fishing this bait, I got on.
Nice. And this is a
25
big one
fish.
for you too, right? What's that one called?
So this is the DBO Minnow.
Oh, yeah.
This is an awesome bait. Like, this is summer, midsummer, going into fall. I've been getting a lot of bites on this. This is what's been working for me.
Right.
Not everybody has their.
We're not here to tell anybody how to fish, how to do their
Not
baits.
at all.
Everybody.
This is
just
what's working.
Focusing on how you do it.
Now it's the paddle tail. We're into paddle tail. Water temps are high. They really like it right now.
Yeah, I got you.
This works too. This was getting bites, but this was generating this in the Fathead.
I got
A lot
you.
of bites.
Yep.
25 fish. DBO Minnow. This is an 8-inch. I'm gonna do 6-inch, and then I have 4.5 and 3-inch.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do the same for the other baits. We're starting 8-inch right now. We're starting there.
Yeah.
This is really good. Holdover baits.
Oh, okay.
Holdover fish. Sorry.
Yeah.
Holdover fish. They really like this bait. Coming into spring, into summer.
Okay.
A lot of big fish, 25 pounders.
Gotcha. So that's a good one to
pounders.
either start your season with.
Yes. Start your season with. You could fish it throughout the summer too.
Right.
My buddy loves fishing this bait.
Now, would that go good? Because I do a lot of swim bait hooks.
So.
Good.
Did I bring a hook with it? No.
No.
So
it's all right.
I have. It's in my bag.
Yeah.
So I have a Poly G. I designed a special jig head for this.
Yeah.
So this is the body because I was selling on 6-packs.
Okay.
So that's why you have the eyes. It's not like your normal
Gotcha.
trailer body and stuff like that.
Lead head.
Yeah, the lead head. So this is
I
designed.
know you were looking for a
this.
hook. Okay.
So 8-inch DBO Minnow, and this is the Poly G. I designed this jig head for this bait because any other jig head, you could do round.
Yeah.
I have round jig heads.
So you make the
It
jig
accepts
heads. You make these as well as.
Yes. So
really?
we
Okay.
custom. We pour our own lead. Everything is all in house.
Okay.
From the molds to designing to pouring the lead, all the jigs are DBO.
Wow. Okay. So I've never seen that shape. So that's something.
So this came along last year,
Okay.
and I was doing it with fresh water.
Yep.
And designing this bait really doesn't like much jig heads.
Right.
Unfortunately, I try to design my baits that a customer can just use any jig head they want.
Right.
But
If they want to
it's
get yours,
tough.
they can, but they're not.
Yeah, they're not.
You want to try it, and you got to. I mean, everybody's got way too much stuff to begin with.
Yeah. So, but these are really nice jig heads.
Yeah.
So this bait, any other jig head, it'll like to spit.
Yeah.
So getting into it, I'm like, how can I correct it? This is a really nice
gotcha.
bait. This.
Oh,
right here.
okay. So
It
that helped
being
with the spin.
flat,
Yep.
The way it's designed.
You got a little bit
it
of
shoots it
pushback.
straight. Yes.
I got you. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's trial and error. Everything's just testing and getting it perfect. Didn't happen overnight with one jig head, unfortunately.
Right,
This
right.
one did. This bait,
Yep.
and then this bait, right on the money, first shot.
Right.
But it's the
right.
way the body's designed.
Right.
So, Poly G 8-inch, really nice bait, catches a lot of stripers, bait fish padded to it. And as we're doing this podcast, I might as well show
Uh-oh.
because
you see it here first. You see it here first.
right now, today.
Wow. I feel honored now.
Yeah, it's nothing new, so I figure, you
Yeah.
know what? And I was kind of excited to bring it out and show you too. Like,
Yep.
like every time you see me, I'll always have something.
You show up. I mean, we did that. We did a first run on this, and there was a whole different set on the table, and now I'm looking at a whole new set of stuff on the table. So,
hopefully this week I can get the Tautog jigs done.
oh, you're doing okay.
I got it done. I was gonna bring it, but I'm like,
we'll
wait.
slow the roll, and we'll get that.
Because,
We'll get it. I'll come down your way.
Yeah, we'll go to Tautog fishing.
See if I can
actually.
handle getting south of Boston.
So this is gonna be the new DBO Minnow 8-inch. So I went into, a lot of customers were, what do I use?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do things that are custom for me, but familiar for everybody.
Right. I gotcha.
Understand it a little bit. What jig head? How do I rig it?
That's always been my thing. When I started getting into this stuff, like I'd have a jig head this big on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing. So that was one of the things like I really liked about when I met guys like at the shows. I would go to the shows, and then somebody would actually, like you're sitting here with me, go, oh, well, this works good. I suggest this. If you try this, I'm trying to fish this for the completely wrong fish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's, everybody's got their secrets. So, but we all want to learn.
Yeah, you got to learn.
That was my thing.
You could give some, but not too much.
Yeah. But I think the
baits.
bait maker, I think a lot of bait makers are like, yeah, great, I made this. And you're like, well, how do I rig it? How do I?
Yeah. How do I fish it?
The big box stuff. Like, you go into Bass Pro and you're just like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's, they'll put some little stuff, but I think
they're all eye candy. Bass Pro is all about the people, not so much the fish. So
right.
I'm about the fish.
Yeah.
And the people, but like Bass Pro, you go in there, you got all these colors, and
it's
as a person,
right,
they're like, ooh, I like that.
Not everybody wants to obsess over this to like nerd level like we do. We're like Dungeons and Dragons level over here with fake fish.
But I'm about the fish, and I'm about catching fish, and I'm about customers catching fish.
Right. Bottom line, if they don't catch fish, they don't fish your baits, right? So
exactly. And there's
really what you can make all the pretty colors in the world, tell how unique it is, but if it doesn't catch a fish,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It's like a charter captain. You can get the boat, you can get it. Nobody realizes how much time goes into being a charter captain because they think anybody can jump on a boat and then go out there and catch a fish.
Yes.
Which is not true.
Nope. You'll go out
those
there
guys
and not catch anything.
Work. I mean, this is like being a charter captain to me. It's like that. People don't understand how much. Like 1,000 hours.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? To come up with something that when people go on YouTube, they think like, oh yeah, I'll just do this, I do this, and then I catch fish. And to a certain point, yes, but really no.
There's a lot that goes into it.
I love this thing.
Sleeping, I don't even know what sleep is anymore.
Oh my god!
But this is the new one.
Yeah.
And this is more familiar with everybody.
Right.
You get your
straight tail as opposed to the paddle tail.
And the jig head is the face of the bait.
Okay.
I
gotcha.
changed the eyes.
Yep.
That's all, so we can different things. It's
right. So here you got more of like a more of a straight cut off at this, and you could cut that if you wanted. Would that affect?
Yeah,
that?
you can even cut it here if you want, but the design's a little bit different.
Right.
I had to match the jig head and to get it to all.
Okay, because of that. What did you call this one again?
So that's the Poly G.
Poly, because it's like a polygon or something. Okay. I don't think
first
either
in the
of us
world.
took geometry class.
No, first one in the world. I don't think there's any jig. There's no jig head up.
Nope. Till we.
Cut that.
I know. I'll cut that out. So no, that's awesome because, I mean,
just try to be familiar for people to understand it a little bit.
I mean, for guy pouring lead, I mean, honestly, this looks like it would be less apt to get caught.
Yeah. So none of my, there might be a little bit of tip to it.
Yep.
Just because that's how the design is, but there's no. No penetration. I don't want you to lose your jig head. I don't care if it lasts you a year.
Right.
That's not my goal. My goal is for you to catch fish, not to lose.
Right. 50 of
I've
these
been
at the
there.
bottom of, yeah.
Going out, losing jig heads, like, God damn, going back, buying more, and just looking at the jig head and being like, yeah, that's why.
Yeah. And what do you sell these in, like a 3-pack?
So right now, all these jig heads are go with the body.
Okay.
I'm
I got you.
figuring it all out.
Yeah, because usually
you
you're
can
like,
buy
you
them
see it
separate.
packed, like your traditional, one
Yep.
of them's rigged, so you kind of, which is nice, because then you're like, oh, okay, that's a good
Easier
way
for
to
me.
rig it, and then I get a couple extras, so if I
Yep.
beat that one up, and if I don't lose my jig head, I don't have to buy 3. But...
Yeah, you don't. But I'll have 5/8 will be 5, and then work it
Oh,
down.
okay, I got you.
Pretty soon, we're gonna get into finishing the next modes
Yep.
for 3 to 5 ounce.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
all the baits are gonna have 3 to 5. I started from 5/8 to 2.5
Okay.
in that period here,
Yep.
and then I'll go for the canal guy.
I was going to say, I always hear, I've never fished the canal, but I hear like these guys just want like a
Big
cinder
waves.
block with a,
It's a
thing on
big
the end
rip.
of it.
It's
Yeah.
a big rip there.
I got you.
You gotta get, and a lot of these stripers sit in the holes.
You
So
gotta
they'll
get
sit in the
down,
hole,
down.
and the water and the bait will just come across. That's when you're fishing, you're hopping it,
Yep.
and all of a sudden you hit that hop, and it right into that hole, and that big girl just sitting there.
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
feel
yeah.
that thump.
I found that because,
Very addicting
obviously, like
bite.
I said, I'm learning too. And here on the Merrimack, I mean, it's known for being one of the, toughest fish, not fisheries, but even boating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that rip comes in and out. So,
Strong rip.
I've been out there and I think I got a decent sized bait coming from freshwater.
Yeah.
I was like, these things are enormous. And then you realize that's not even a big bait for,
Oh, yeah.
but I throw it in and then you just see your line go,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then you're not going to catch a fish. You got to get to the bottom. So that's great.
Smallmouth was always like that. You just throw that wacky.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, your line just
I
goes.
fish weightless half the time. You know what I mean? You get
So I got into small weights, 5/8 to 2.5.
Yeah.
When I first started, actually my first bait, I started off with a 5/8.
okay.
And I was getting to the bottom with the rips. It
Yeah.
takes time, but I was getting a lot of bites.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, sometimes it's not all about that big weight, because that big weight drags you right to the bottom.
yeah,
And now there's no action. You're pulling on this thing to get that weight to make that hop.
yeah.
And then now you're just yanking it too far. You can literally hop over these fish.
Oh,
You can
okay.
hop over that big hole just because now you're. So 5/8 is a nice finesse, and they love it because it gives it a different fall.
I
It gives it a
gotcha.
different profile jumping in the water.
Yeah.
Mainly 5/8 to 2.5 is my go-to.
Okay.
Anywhere, even heavy current here, just not the canal. You can do
I
it.
gotcha.
You can do it. It's just being on land, you would have to get it very far out to make that drift.
Yeah.
And at that time the drift goes, they'll go to the bottom, but
Yeah,
it'll take time.
It takes. You got to really
And-
let out a lot of line.
Yeah, in your fish, area, it just works. So you
Right,
need the
right.
3.
Well, I figure. I mean, they say what the stripers are looking
Always
up.
facing up it.
Exactly. They're into it, waiting
the
for the
water's
fish to
coming
come at them. So you
Even
almost
on-
have to kind of fall
Yeah.
and get them a little bit down.
Yeah, kind of. They like to skip sometimes, the hop.
I got you. So you get it to the bottom, and then every hop just brings it back
Yep,
and
and
goes away.
get it
I
out
gotcha.
in front of the current and have it drift down.
Oh, okay, I got you. So if you're perpendicular to the current, you're going to go upstream.
Yeah, because if
And then
you
just
cast
keep-
down, it'll bring you off.
Yeah,
this
exactly,
side.
yeah.
This is all canal, basically all in the canal. If you cast over here, it moves it too quick.
Right, right.
So
And
you
even in
want it
front of
up
you, which
front.
is normally what you would do, like a freshwater. If you
Yeah,
had a
up
current, you're
front.
just going to. So yeah, you got to whip it way up that way. And
On a
then-
boat is different.
Yeah, I got you.
I've fished up current behind me. I've let it
I got
just
you.
kind of drift behind me.
So the canal, there's a lot of guys who are shore fishing, obviously. Is it
Yeah.
predominantly shore fishing? I'm like,
Yeah, you can't
really?
fish. Yeah,
oh, you
you
can't even
cannot
fish off
put
a
a
boat
boat.
down there.
No,
I got you.
I wish if you were, and people be in the middle.
Because that's like a sea
That's
lane.
like
That's
the
like,
Xtreme
like
right
legit boat traffic coming in and out.
Yeah,
I got you. So they don't want.
but they'll
much
block
of-
you off. We've gone very close in fishing.
Oh, really?
And there they come.
Coast Guard or
instantly.
the harbor master comes in.
He's just like this. Go.
Get the
Okay,
fuck out.
yes.
I don't care where it's like the bar at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, they want you out of there.
I gotcha. Well, that's cool. So, yes, I mean, that's the baits. We got a lot of colors. Are there any other baits that you got out there now that you wanted to talk about that maybe we don't have it here, or just give it a mention?
So we have like this one. This is the newest one. Not new, but better designs. The new DBO killer bait. Bait.
That's the one you're excited about right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be a really good tuna bait.
I can't wait to try it.
So that's going to be just hook as the body. I got somebody fishing it right now, getting on tuna with the DBO Minnow. They love it.
Yeah, you said some guys down in Jersey are really digging
my
your
buddy
stuff.
In Jersey's been fishing it for me. I appreciate it. I was telling him about like, I can't get out like you can. I'm always
it's
working.
good. I mean, it's always good to. Perspective's a big thing I've found when you're trying to run a business, and you might think you're onto something, or maybe there's something that you don't even realize you're onto something, and somebody else goes, "Dude, I was out doing this," and you're like, "Get out of here, really?"
I like the feedback.
Yeah,
He'll tell me straight up, the hook's not gonna work.
He'll let you know. All right.
Let's fix it. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I got you.
But no, I appreciate what he's doing out there. He's helping me out big time with fishing and stuff like that. I send him free stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
You help me, I help you. I don't mind.
Yeah, no, exactly. You need some feedback out there.
Definitely.
So that's good. We got to use my Xtreme bait tanks. Another guy from I got this custom made just to plug it while we got it here. And guy drove one out, I think like Tennessee or something, brought it up for a guy down the Cape. I wanted one. He's like, well, I'm swapping one in the Cape. So I went down to Dennisport, picked it up from another guy who I'm hoping, he was a tuna guy. And I was like, hey, if you ever, so maybe I'll meet that guy, bring out some of your stuff, and I'll get to do some tuna and striper out there in the Cape. So
tuna baits, like this is going to be a killer tuna bait.
Yeah.
But next year, I'll be out there more. Tuna.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a crucial time getting the business. I'm just so focused on the business. Whenever I'm out in the water, I love being on.
I mean, you drove 2 hours just to meet with me, and I'm just some dickhead.
Nah, you guys are good people.
I appreciate that. I mean, you've been real supportive of what we're trying to do with getting the channel going. Been getting some people. I tried doing this like a year ago, and
it's always the right time.
Yeah,
it's always even like this one, launching this bait, it was the same thing. Like I was just about to get ready to release it, and then something comes up, and it pushes you back a little bit.
Well, I sat with I had the idea, and I had a different name for it, and I was like gung ho. I'm like, nobody's doing anything like this. Focus on, everybody's out there trying to get free shit. That's my thing is like every time I demo something, I bought it from that person. I tried it. You know what I mean? And what I'm trying to do is if I buy something from a local person like yourself, I fish it and I like it, then I want to get them on here and help them, get the word out. This isn't making me any money. I don't even know how if it will, but I enjoy it. You know what I mean? I'm at that point in my career. You know what I mean? I am doing this for fun. You know what I mean? If there's some way that I can make some money back, it's tough. Like I can't be like, all right, well, sell me your baits and I'll sell them. And, to me, I don't know. I don't even understand social media, so I'm sure there's ways that it gets monetized or, something like that. But to my point, there's so many guys are out there like, hey, it's Al from, bassfishfuckers.com and I'm out here and you can tell I'm good because I've got 47 fucking patches on my shirt and I got a hat.
All sponsors.
You know what I mean? Like you look like you just fell into a big box store. You see their truck, it's got
all the
letter. They look like they're in NASCAR, you know what I mean? And it's just like, my thing is just more like a personal, it's akin to that, but without being like, hey, I'm not the professional. You know what I mean? I'm the first one to say, I didn't start this because I thought I was a great fisherman. I started this because, like I said, selfishly, I think the biggest thing for me is I just love fishing and then learning.
Yeah.
I've met.
This is cool. And that's what got me here. I'm like, I don't care the views and how many people are following. It's all about the person, and I'm like, I like what he's doing, and
I've always felt like do the right thing and it'll work itself. If you're doing the right thing, it'll work itself out.
And I'm still new to all this too. We've been doing this now. When I started and I had to pull away.
Yeah.
Got a house, started again, pulled away, had my daughter. And about a year ago, opened up the shed, and there was the CNC, and I was doing marine diesel at the time.
Oh, really?
As I was still working for a company now, I still work every day. You got to.
Yep. Yeah, you said as a kid you ripped like your whole motor apart on the boat.
Yeah.
Like, what did it blew up like fishing or something?
No, just piecing it together. You know, one carburetor goes bad, and you pull one off of this one, and you put it on there, and you strip it down. And I was a guy with a little boat with a big motor, you know.
That's awesome. So, all right, well, let's throw a couple of these in the water, and we can do. It's worked out good because as we've been talking about them, I'll do, you know what I mean, some cuts so people can see what's going on.
But yeah,
there's enough videos of people fishing out there that we don't need to bore people with that. But
these are like all the main ones right now that
let's throw them in the water.
New stuff.
We'll do some B-reels, you know what I mean, off of that.
Everybody has their time. If say tomorrow you throw this and you don't catch fish, don't give up. You know, you might just be in the wrong place. They just might not bite in. So then I'll switch to one of these baits. And I'll figure out what they want.
Right. A lot of guys say that. They're like, throw this. If that doesn't work, just keep throwing it at them. Usually, you find out what they're dialed in on that day.
Yeah, usually this gets
Really?
I've handed to my buddy. I've handed to random customers and stuff like that. Even like what I was saying last time with my neighbor, you know, I handed him a couple baits.
Yep.
The next day, my phone's blowing up. He's just, I can't believe this bait, first cast. I've used every bait out. It just
that makes you feel good, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
when people see success and you're like, and
I love it.
That's
awesome.
Love
seeing people catch stripers on the baits.
Yeah,
there's some customers, my friends would send me photos, and I'm like, hell yeah, even though I'm in there making and pouring baits, sweating my ass off. I'm like, I'm excited for you.
My boy Pete. Peter Akins up at Harvester Charters. He's out of Rye, New Hampshire. And it's the same thing. Like, you know, we've been texting. Like, it's like you make a friend doing this. I met him, just randomly chartered with him one day. And great people, nice kid. I've never seen anybody more excited when his customers catch fish. You know what I mean? Like he's out of his mind. Just like so excited. Like he just loves fishing.
Yeah, I love it.
And I know. I mean, it seems like a similar thing to you when you bring the fruit of your labors to somebody, and then you put a smile on their face, and you made their life a little bit better. I mean, that's awesome.
It's just the people understanding. Like my situation now. A lot of these baits are put an order in, and I make them.
Right.
Because I still work during the day.
Yeah, it's small.
And then
batch.
I have my daughter. And then I do this at night till like 3, sometimes 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, and my shipping's pretty good.
Yeah.
1 to 2 days, sometimes 3.
Yep.
But when you put an order in, I'll have the bait out the next day. Even though it's order and then I make it. I'll have it for you the next day.
Right, I got you.
And then it gives me room to do a little bit of these. And
right. Yeah. If I'm making these for this guy, I'll do some
myself.
extras. Next order comes in, I got a backlog.
Because imagine having 8 different colors with 8 different baits, and you gotta make
a lot of,
30.
Now you got all this stock, and you're like, all right.
There's just not enough time.
If you sell all of this color and not as enough for this color, now I'm like, well, I can imagine. No, that's great. Like I said, this is about, you know, shop local, the entrepreneur, the guy who's hustling. You know, if you blow this thing up, and you know, great. You know, and you know, it's not about.
It's always been good since day one. Starting off like from the beginning. About a year ago, I built the website by myself. That was a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, I built computers to do this. I built a computer. You know, and you get the graphic cards and stuff. But
Yep.
Built a website and started getting into the molds in that first week, putting it online. I sold out.
Yeah.
All custom jigs. I'm still make custom jigs, you know, all pre-rigged. A lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a spot for that. People like that pre-rigged. They get it, tie it on, throw it out.
I mean, really, I've ruined I don't know how many trying to, you know what I mean, trying to measure it and get the hook to come through. And then you're like, off, you came out the side too much. And if it's not right, it's not going to swim right.
Pretty soon, a lot of the baits, I'm going to start making dots for the customers. So you'll know exactly where
to put the hook. Okay.
But once I made the mold and
that's
everything.
That's nice for shit. That's it.
It's like, I sure did that.
I spent $8 on the baits, and I you know, it cost me $8 for one because I ruined two just trying to figure it out. But live and learn. I mean, that's what it's about.